put it in like this. Yes, I will be turning off my comments until further notice. Um, Bitch, that was good. Okay, making sure everything's good. All right. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is my first video of the year. I'm finally back. I was so sick. I was so sick. During Christmas, like Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, I was so deathly sick. And that's like, and I still have a lingering cough, by the way. So if I do cough in here, please forgive me. Like, it's not like I'm trying to like cough on you. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I think I caught like that flu that everyone else was catching. I was totally fine like the day after. Like I like went to work and I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, what am I gonna do? On Christmas Day, I managed to like, get glam and look really pretty and do like a Christmas makeup and sit and eat and, powwow. But Jesus, I was teetotally like knocked the hell out and I could not do anything like the next day. I could not do anything. I was so sick. Like for days, I couldn't go to work. I was done. Like, thank God I got sick days because this was the worst sickness I've had in such a long time. And I don't really get sick that much. I'm a kind of person who really does pay attention to what like they eat and what they put in their body for the most part. Like, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at all. Like, I love every now and then to go get a pizza. I love every now and then to go get sushi or to eat out for occasions, but I rarely just eat like out. I always like to eat in and to make my own food, or my mom makes me food and stuff like that, and that's really it, honestly. But I was so sick, but I'm finally back. I'm happy to be back on here. It's a new year. New Year, same me, bitch. Coming out here saying what's exactly on my brain and not biting my lip for anyone. I think that's really important, especially now more than ever, to come out and speak out what you think, Despite that we live under a disgusting administration right now, which Trump has completely turned his head like away from like us, like the American people, 100%, who has been back in the Epstein files, and been like the people who is against Israel, against sending money, our tax dollars, to facilitate other wars and creating more wars and so many different things, like inviting the H-1B visa motherfuckers in here to take American jobs who are qualified, who are good and who are worth it, but are being literally kicked in the asshole by Trump and his administration and other people who support H-1B visas to come in here and take Americans' jobs. It's gross. It's a plethora of things that has been happening under the administration, and it's like all last year and going into this year of 2026 that a lot of people are just sick of and tired. They really are. And it's really unfortunate that, a lot of people, they were tricked and they thought that, all this political theater of Trump being attacked by the media and all this kind of stuff. I think it has come down to the political theater and to lure so many people to still support him. And I think that it's unfortunate. Like, how can you support someone who is potentially and allegedly who knew of Jeffrey Epstein and knew of the things that he was doing, but acting like that he didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was, and campaigning on the fact that it was important to it was important to basically eradicate the disgusting piece of shit that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein and trafficking young children. And, Trump has been very like, I don't, why is everyone talking about it? Why is everyone talking about it? It's disgusting. Trump has totally failed all of us, period. Economy wise too, yes, it's better because we're not in COVID no more. Duh. Like, even though he had a lot to facilitate with COVID, he spent so much money that we didn't need to spend during COVID. Like, please, um, it's so many things that contributed to the inflation, but no one ever wants to talk about that. But I want to get into Nicki Minaj, and I want to say this before I get into it. Um, I I don't see myself on any political sphere, to be honest, but I do see myself more right leaning. I am very right leaning, to be honest. I really am. And, I may not support everything that the Republican base, like in Congress, like, that is a government that actually, like, they do everything. I don't necessarily support them wholeheartedly, but I do think that a lot of us that are American and right wing, we have more of a concrete, like, thought process on what we want for the country, which is America first. And that's totally what I'm for, America first. Sorry. Nicki Minaj, though, we really have to get into her because I found this to be very fascinating. For someone to come out of the woodwork and to, basically give her support to Donald Trump, even though I don't think that it's the right. I don't. I mean, if you want to get things done, like, yes, I do think there is a game that is being played here. Like, you have to kind of kiss the ass of the president and vice president to get things done, especially if you do care about things that's happening in the world. Regarding the Nigerian people, Christians that are in Nigeria have been attacked, particularly by ISIS. Now, we can get into like, who is ISIS? Who funded ISIS? Are they like backed by Israel or not? Whatever. We can get into that another time. But what's happening to the Christians in Nigeria is absolutely disgusting. And I find it so, so disheartening that so many people have came out of the woodwork to denounce and also to make it seem like that what Nicki Minaj is doing, when speaking out, and particularly about that topic, they're wrong. Like, I feel like the reason why she's really coming out, because she's having a calling, maybe spiritually. I mean, I listened to the episode with Erika Kirk and her sitting down, and I listened to it all the way through, and everyone's taking bits and clips about this, like when she's regarding like young men. They was talking about young men and young girls and how they should be, and like, who they should be inspired by. She claims the handsome, dashing Donald Trump, which I wouldn't agree with, but he is iconic though. I think in so many ways you can't, despite all the things politically. As a man though, I do think that he is like very inspirational for young men. I mean, like, he has a wonderful family, powerful family, hardworking family if you look at it like that. His sons, daughters aren't like out here tricking themselves, and they're not out here on drugs. Like, look at the Biden family, for example. And look at how they are. They're disgusting. All of them are. Look at Kamala's stepdaughter. Disgusting. I think that in some way, yes, you can, for like, a man out there, you can gain some inspiration from Donald Trump or many other people out there with like a lot of different types of values and things like that on the surface. That is great to be inspired by, you know. And she said a line, "Boys be boys," regarding Nicki Minaj, and everyone went crazy. It's like, yeah, it's because she's talking about young men. It's not like she's talking about like gays or whatever have you. Despite, like, if she was like, so the fuck what? What does that do to you if Nicki Minaj was out here saying like, gay men out there, be men? Who cares? We already know what we are. Gay men are men. We are men. We may like makeup, we may like fashion, whatever like that. I love makeup, I love fashion. It's what I've always loved. But it doesn't denote that I'm a man. Like, period. Now, if you want to get into the trans thing and people want to spin it to be like a trans thing, trans women are men. They are men. It is what the fuck it is, okay? Like, I don't care what no one says. They are men. And many of them don't deny that as well. But also at the same time, it's like, you can't transition to be a whole fucking gender, okay? Because you are the gender that you're fucking born as. Point blank, period, okay? There's no amount of like reconstruction, no amount of cutting the skin to make you transform into be a man or woman, vice versa. What Nicki Minaj was saying was about young men that are straight who do need inspiration, and she has a young boy herself, and she talks about how like a lot of them are trying to basically weaken men nowadays, weaken men in many ways and teach them that, like, you don't have to get married. You don't need to. And I understand what she was trying to say in regards of young men who aren't straight. I know what she's trying to say, but people like to spin things like that. And now they're sending out like these petitions that has like over 120,000 people signed a petition to have her deported to Trinidad. Do you see the hypocrisy of it all? How the left will treat people who speaks out, and then they take things and misinform things. It's really disgusting. I really sat back, and it made me more of a fan of Nicki Minaj in many ways. Actually, I'm not really the biggest fan of Nicki Minaj. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not. I haven't been. I love her music for sure. Like, but there are some things that I'm like, girl, shut the fuck up. And Cardi B too. I remember there was a time like I like Cardi B a lot too, musically, personality wise as well. I think she's amazing at fashion as well, period. Just like Doja Cat. But I think that there are many things I'm like, ugh, like, shut the fuck up. I remember the time when I think there was something that happened in North Carolina. Was it North Carolina? And there was an earthquake or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a very long time. And she said like, oh, the reason why this happened is because it's a red state. Period. It made me mad. I didn't speak about Cardi B for a very long time, but recently I've been liking Cardi B a lot recently. Whatever. It's disgusting. I still remember it. I never forget it. It makes me look at her sideways. But I like them both. But for the world to come out and to denounce Nicki and want her to be deported back to Trinidad because she is Trinidadian and is an immigrant. Her family's immigrants too, I think. Um, they're now in support of deportation. It's so funny how the left would eat their own when they go against what they like, and 100% misinformed. I wish people would go watch the whole entire thing. I watched the whole entire thing. I like to watch and see what's really going on. And even if she said all the things that they are saying that she said, I wouldn't give a fuck. Because I think her heart's in the right place of wanting to, have some sort of negotiation and helping the Nigerians in Nigeria that are Christian. And you know what? I'm conflicted as well because honestly, when it comes to foreign, when it comes to foreign interests and foreign policy and things like that, I am an isolationist, and I think that if we start to use American tax dollars to bomb and destroy, places in Nigeria or like whatever like that. I don't feel like that does anything. I feel like there needs to be negotiations in some way, or I don't know. And also another part of me feels like that. Wow, like despite that, I feel like it's so sad and disgusting and disturbing that Nigerian Christians are being slaughtered. For America, what does that do for us to get involved? Like, I'm talking about on a political level, I'm not talking about on a moral level, whatever like that. I'm talking about like on a political level, like, is it in our best interest to actually get involved in Nigeria and what's happening there? Actually, no, not really. It's not. But I can't fault no one who actually wants something to be done, And it's not in a way to like slaughter like the Nigerians, just like when it comes to Israel and Palestine. I don't think that we should be getting in other people's wars, and allow and send money actually, billions of bombs, dollars, whatever, in foreign aid and military aid to like literally like exterminate a whole population of people that have nothing to do with what their like government that they haven't voted for years have done. You know what I mean? and what Israel has allowed, because allegedly Israel was involved and knew that Hamas was going to attack on October 7th. Everyone knows this. I shouldn't even have to say allegedly. Everyone knows this. But I digress. I think what Nicki Minaj is doing is great. Do I like a lot of things that she's supporting when doing this? No, but I think as a person, as a person who has some sort of power to get to power, like Donald Trump or our government, and to talk to them and to do things that's right morally on a Christian level, I think it's great that she's doing that. I really do. Do I have my disagreements? 100%. But you motherfuckers out there who are so against deportation. Oh my God, you're going to take my umbrella. You're taking my umbrella. Yeah, she's an illegal. She has to get the fuck out of here. Bye. Okay, we barely even scratch the surface on taking out these illegal immigrants out of our country. By the way, yet like everyone wants to cry, my umbrella. Like, get the fuck out of her. I'm so sick of everyone. They're bullshit and they're fakery. You want to sign a petition to deport Nicki Minaj? Get the fuck out of her. She's an American, okay? She has been here for years. Like, she is American. She is legal, obviously, duh. I'm so sick of people. It's so dumb. Anyways, I'm all for that. I think what they're doing to her is disgusting, and the crucifixion of Nicki Minaj will continue. It's just what happens when people talk out. And another thing, I want to say this. They're going to treat her like they treated Kanye. I remember how Kanye came out and he spoke about, his support with Donald Trump, and he was talking about the industry and how he is against abortion and a lot of different things, which I agree with. Like, yes, like he at that time, like we all agreed, like to support Trump, and I agreed with what he was saying in TMZ, saying like black people, like basically you're slaves by choice, because you had the option to do something, but you don't. So I understand what he meant by that, and I always have loved Kanye, always have. There's nothing that would make me not like him, period. Nothing, because I think that he's like 10,000 years ahead. But I do think that the administration is going to use Nicki for influence, because I see that she's talking about, supporting JD Vance supporting Nicki Minaj, shitting on Cardi B. I see that there is a trickle down to all this, an agenda to all of this, because everyone knows that JD Vance was was mentored by Peter Thiel, who is backed by the CIA and who is staunchly pro-Israel and staunchly anti-humanist like Elon Musk as well. There's a lot of things about JD Vance that is super, super, super sketchy. He's a squirrel. Like, I don't like his fat ass. I don't like his ugly what's his wife again? I think his wife is like a fucking Hindu. Yeah, Hindu wife. How you gonna be Catholic and then you're married to a Hindu? That doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, anything else? Like, if nothing makes sense, it's that. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. You should. I think if you are Catholic, you should marry within or be with someone that's within your religion. Period. That's just my thought. But that alone, it just like turns me off. That alone, it wouldn't even matter if you're not backed by Peter Thiel or whatever like that. These like transhumanist one world government motherfuckers. I wouldn't even give a fuck about that. It's like, you married to an Indian, okay? Like, what? That doesn't practice what you practice? That don't love Jesus? Like, okay, bye. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, I see that there's an agenda, and I think that they're gonna use Nicki Minaj for influence, whatever left influence that she has now. So many people are so against Trump, and rightfully so in so many ways. But I think to speak out on something that's so important to protect Christians, I think that that's just so lame. It's super lame. Anyways, I'm so thirsty. Moving on to sorry, I still have a cough from my sickness. I think I'm gonna move on to Candace Owens, Erika Kirk, Fort Huachuca, because I think that this is so interesting to me. We already know that Candace Owens, she recently did podcast like last month, and she invited a guy named Mitch who was reportedly like an ex military person, whatever. And he came on her podcast and told her that he saw a woman that looked like Erika Kirk. He saw men that looked like, that men that worked for TPUSA, and there was another guy that worked at Cabot Phillips, is that his name? Who was the ex of Erika Kirk as well. Saw Erika Kirk on the 8th and saw Cabot Phillips and a senator as well. I can't remember the name of the senator who was at Fort Huachuca, which is a military base. And there's a lot of sketchy shit happening, There's a lot of sketchy shit happening. He came out and he blew the whistle on that. Where Candace Owens is trying to find evidence to see, like, was Erika Kirk there? Was Cabot Phillips there? Were a lot of these other people that Mitch is, mentioning there at Fort Huachuca? And everyone since then have been going crazy. I don't know why. Like, I've been looking on X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and everyone has been going crazy. And people that I at least expect to go crazy is going crazy, calling her like she's a part of deep state. Like, what? The person that has been calling out the deep state the most, like she's a deep state? Okay. And it's just like when they say that Nick Fuentes is a Fed, right? Like, he's a part of deep state. Like, how is that even possible? That doesn't even make sense to me. But for Alex Jones to come out and say that, it's like, what is really going on? I don't trust none of these people. Half the time, I don't trust anyone. Even though I like Nick Fuentes or I like Candace too, sometimes I don't trust them either. You just never know. But I for the most part, I do like them a lot, and I do think that they're. If anything, it doesn't matter if anything wasn't to come out of this. I like the fact that someone has some sort of heart to investigate, ask questions, and also shit on our government, as they should, and also expose so many things that is so important that we as a normal citizens don't know about. And when she talked about like how there is military operations where they will wear certain colors and things like that, which a lot of men were on the campus of when Charlie Kirk died. They was wearing maroon shirts and black glasses, and like it was all like they was all in a team. It was very odd things, and that everyone was connected to the military. Some people from the TPUSA is connected to the military. Their father was connected to the military, or they even worked for it. It's like something here isn't right, because all of you guys are working for the military. All of you guys have been a part of some sort of intelligence in some sort of way. It's getting weird, And when you come out, when people are coming out, like Mitch, for example, who are whistleblowers and who have been a part of the military, and they're telling us these things, I think it's important that we all sit back and actually listen. Like, be like, this is something that I want to look out for if I'm out with my family, or if I'm out with, like, did no one think like that? Because I do. I think like that. I take information and I take it with me, and I'm like, what's going on around me, at all times. I think that's very important as citizens. And you should want to know what your government is doing, especially with your tax dollars. It's very important. And to see all of this happening is so crazy. And then to see Andrew COVID, is that his name? Sometimes I don't know how to say these people's names. There's so many people involved. It's really hard to keep up. I'm not Candace Owens. I'm not Candace Owens at all. But for the most part, I'm there. There was I guess they was doing some sort of live at TPUSA, and Erika Kirk, out of nowhere, was giving an alibi about where she was on the 9th, when we were wanting to know where were you on the 8th. Apparently, you were at an hotel in that area. And I think, don't quote me on this, I think Mitch said that he saw, allegedly, Erika Kirk, a woman with bright blue eyes, blonde hair, whatever, and with Cabot Phillips, which is very crazy and questionable too. Like, in a hotel the night before she was supposedly cooking for Charlie Kirk on the 9th. Why are you meeting with your ex at a hotel? That's weird. That's weird. That's where my brain goes. And she's coming out with this bullshit alibi that no one asked for. No one asked for alibi. Candace didn't ask for alibi. It's something they're scrambling. Every time Candace gets close to them, they just start to scramble. It's like, why does no one pay attention to that? And I understand there is people who are saying like, oh, like, how does this matter? Where does this lead us to? Like, what is the end goal to this? Like, I understand that, but when it comes to an investigation, like, I'm sorry, you have to put pieces and puzzles together and everything. She's doing the work for you. You have to sit and watch and listen. That's what it is. You can have your own opinions about it, but to just jump to a conclusion so quickly without, concrete evidence of whether of and how we can figure out if they were there at that time, that's going to be hard to prove. Period. You can't just go about what someone's memory like that. And I understood that when I was listening to Candace Owens' live on X, and I sat there. I was in disbelief by Harrison, who is just going out like coming out of the woodwork and saying like, "Where's the end going? We know what you're trying to insinuate. We know what you're trying to." Okay, but that's not what she said though. Like, you can't jump to conclusions and make it seem like that's what she's saying when that's not what she's saying. She's trying to find proof, and then she will say X, Y, and Z. That's how investigations go. I don't understand. Do people not watch true crime like investigation shows or something? Like, people like that stupid and dumb? Like, actually, I think people are really dumb. People are actually really dumb. They don't know what an investigation is nowadays. So, what's going on with Erika Kirk and Candace Owens? I find Erika Kirk to be very odd, moving weird. And those children in that video, in that photo that she sent to Andrew Coven, I found to be like odd because those children look way older than 1 and 3. Is the baby girl 3 and the boy supposed to be 1? That boy looks like he's at least 4. Something about that is not right. I'm like, didn't we just see photos of you and Charlie Kirk with are those fake children? Are those someone else's children? Why do you picture? I guess for their privacy, and they haven't really showed their faces, but have they? I feel like they have. Why are you hiding their faces? I don't know. I found it to be very odd. I don't know. Something about it is very odd and weird. I think that Erika Kirk, Cabot Phillips, especially since now we know that he's also have some sort of military like connections as well, is getting kind of like sketchy. And Erika Kirk's mother is also a part of that world as well. So, and she moved to Arizona because of that. And Erika Kirk knows that. And TPUSA is headquarters in Arizona too. Many things are just, to me, it just looks like if shit stinks, it stinks. That's how I feel. That's all alleged, and I'm gonna keep on saying allegedly, because bitch, I don't know. I might come and take down your whole video. I don't know. Anyways, another thing I want to like talk about is Nick Shirley. So recently, there has been an uptick of many people talking about Somalians, how they can't conform to our society. Well, duh. They have different cultures, different like lifestyles, period. I don't think a lot of people that live here in this country, Muslims also as well, even though I don't believe that demonize all Muslims, but like you people do, that there's people that do demonize and generalize because that's the way how they all act. I've seen it. But for the most part, like, when it comes to Muslims and things like that, especially that I'm westernized, a lot of them are fine people, like clean and nice and stuff like that. It's just those people that just recently got here who come from the motherland, they are usually like so much years behind. So I even watch videos of them don't even know how to get on a fucking escalator. How the fuck can you be here in this country and you don't even know what the fucking escalator is? Bye. You shouldn't be here. Period. But there has been an uptick of Somalians that are, I guess being surveilled in Minnesota, where Tim Walz is, that motherfucker. Everyone's calling him out, calling him a retard. People are like going past his house, calling him a retard, everything. It's so funny. I be watching those videos. And he's disgusting. Came out talking about how everyone's like a racist and white supremacists are going against the Somalians in our community. Oh my God, protect the Somalians. But allegedly, well, I don't think this is alleged, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Nick Shirley, he has been a commentator who has been going around Minnesota and exposing the is it millions or billions? I don't know. It could be billions of dollars. I'm just gonna be safe and say millions of dollars of daycare centers that are ran by Somalians. They can't even spell the word learning on the fucking like billboard of their fucking like building, daycare building. And there's no children there. There's no children there. It's taxpayer funded. And they're like, it's fraud. It's basically fraud. He went to a another daycare, asked him about things regarding taxes and what like who funds their shit. Why are there no children in the building? And they just shut the door in his face. Probably because they can't understand him because they're not supposed to be here. They shouldn't be here, but they're here living comfortably. And it's absolutely disgusting. It's wild. And this is what I think is important. Despite also, can I just say this too? I've seen a lot of things too, like exposing him to be an Israeli psyop. He has, worked for Israel. He has, there's many things saying like he's allegedly a Jewish man as well. Whatever. Regardless, I think that I can put that aside. Whatever, that he worked for Israel, whatever have you. I could put that aside and still also be like, that is a fucking problem. You mean to tell me that people's American tax dollars, could this be happening here in my state? Could it be happening there in your state? Why isn't no one talking about this? Like there could be potentially foreign ran daycares or some sort of stores, whatever like that is bought and being taxpayer funded in some sort of way, and they're just like living off of taxpayers' money, which when it can be usually going back into the city, like actually into the city to help, I don't know, people that's actually in need, which to be honest, rarely, no one's fucking homeless. I don't give a fuck what no one says. I don't believe that half the people in this country that claim to be homeless are homeless. I think they're anarchists. I truly do. These people, like, all the programs we do have in this country, you mean to tell me that you're jobless, you don't have any money, and you are living on the streets, but also you're drugged out? Please. There's many things that could help people, I think. I think taxpayer funded money can help sedate those people, put them in a fucking hospital that needs help. I think that could be something to be arranged, honestly. Bring back the asylums. How about that? Let's actually help people for real. But I think that potholes, I don't know, like doing something with the infrastructure here, like building more playgrounds, more places for people to enjoy their city. I don't know, many things could happen, but wow, we're sending money to disgusting pieces of shit that don't deserve that taxpayer money at all. And they're not even helping children or parents in need that need to like have their children be in the daycare. The bare minimum. It's wild. It's very wild. And I find it to be very disgusting. I think that everyone should honestly be checking in on that. I really do. I hope that someone comes here and they actually do something. I'm actually going to do my research and see, like, well, like, are there daycares here that are Somali, like, ran and that they don't, um, they're taxpayer funded and they don't actually help parents in need that need their children be dropped off at daycare? I don't know. I would like to know these things. It's very intriguing to me. How many daycares is this? This is just in Minnesota. This is just Minnesota. Could this be happening in your state? Could it be happening in mine? Don't know. I think about that and it kind of frightens me. It makes me wonder like how many other, I don't know, places are like this. You wouldn't know. You really wouldn't know. Wow. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm about to go chill and do my own thing. I already did like a lot of videos today, like especially on TikTok. I like to do like TikTok videos of me do my makeup and all kinds of things, like fun free range things. You may not agree with me wearing makeup. I don't give a fuck what you agree with. I look good. I'm better than you. If you have an issue with whatever the fuck I say or what I do, fuck you. It's a new year, bitch. If you can't see that there are gays here that live in this country, there's something wrong with you. We live in the land of the free, okay? I think that just because we have gays and whatever these other weirdos that live here in this country, that doesn't mean that our country should be, broke for one. They shouldn't be like, I can't even say the word, graping us from our taxpayer money for dumb shit. And our country shouldn't be dirty and ran by foreigners that shouldn't be here, period. Like that's literally how I feel. And if we can agree on that at least, and you're just mad about a man wearing makeup, like there's bigger fish to fucking fry. Maybe actually, instead of worrying about me, maybe you should just go get surgery and shut the fuck up. Cause you're so fucking ugly. Cause I see your comments, bitch, and you think that you're like, that you're so much better. I've seen your face. You're fucking ugly. Anyways, I'm done with that. I don't even feel like looking at the comments because fuck you. Like, if you have any comments, comment after my video ends. How about that? If it's really important. Because I'm not listening to the comments. You bitches are so stupid. Anyways, I'm done. Love you. Bye. I gotta turn this shit off.